And now, the best reindeer wrangler in the world, it's Nightique with Edward St. Pé.
Thank you, Santa Claus, for that fine introduction. And Santa will be back with us a little later in the show. We're going to spy in on Santa as he prepares his final plans for his trip to Jackson. So we'll be meeting Santa again later in the show. And it is the Christmas season, so let's get a little Christmas spirit around here. Thanks. Okay, Brandon, thank you for that. Now, here's what's happening in the news. A study says that most American consumers are actually trying to cut back on sugar, mostly so they can save a little room for all the salt and fat they're instead substituting in everything else they eat. Last week, big news from Facebook. Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg and his wife celebrated the birth of their daughter by announcing they will be giving their $35 billion fortune to charity to make this world a greater and better place. The reaction came swiftly. Last night, the baby kept them up all night crying for her attorney. According to a survey conducted by the Department of Transportation, of the 13 biggest air carriers, American Airlines is the #1 for losing people's luggage. In all fairness, though, they're also the most sympathetic to travelers who need replacement clothes. They issue them a 10% discount coupon good at all Salvation Army thrift centers. I've been there. That's what I'm wearing tonight, in fact. A video game has been developed to help children who have ADHD, which wouldn't be necessary if the kids hadn't developed ADHD from sitting around playing video games in the first place. In related children's news, IHOP has removed soda from their kids' menu. The company says they want to give kids healthy choices. So now one of the games on the IHOP kids menu is to actually try to find something healthy to eat at the IHOP. Well, a great show tonight. John Anderson, the producer from New Orleans, met us recently at the film festival. He's talking about what's happening in film production in Louisiana and his view on what's happening in Mississippi. And also Darrell Luster from Malico Records will be here. And Santa Claus is also making a special appearance. So stay tuned for the rest of the show.
We'll be right back with more of Nightique after these messages.
This is our Gray's Box. It's a great way to snack. Fresh, tasty, and created using only the best ingredients. Choose from our range of over 90 delicious snacks. We'd like to invite you to try a hand-picked box for free. Go to grays.com and we'll send a free box directly to your office or home. It may even help you keep your hand out of the cookie jar.
Go to grays.com and enter the code GRAYS34 for a free box.
Grays.com. Snacking reinvented.
And now back to more Nightique.
Well, we're with John Anderson from Entertainment, right?
Correct.
Thanks for being with us again.
No problem.
You've been on before. Now, you're a producer, and
Correct.
You operate out of the New Orleans market.
Yes.
Okay, what is new? I mean, there's a lot of activity going on in Louisiana and more going on now in Mississippi, production-wise. And you're always working on something. How many films have you produced?
54 so far.
54
I've been involved in 54 films.
And so, right now, we've talked before we went on the air about some of the things you're working on. Tell us what you can tell us right now about new projects.
Well, we've got about 6 projects in development, of which 2 of them are definitely funded. One at $45 million, one at $28 million. One's going to take place in Hawaii, and the other one's going to be in the South. We're not really determined. We haven't determined which area of the South yet, but we've got offers out to stars, and as soon as we get some responses, we'll be able to announce when, where, and all the particulars.
So how important is it to get a big star attached to your film project?
It's very important.
Why?
So, well, if you don't have funding and you get a big star attached, you can easily get funding. And a lot of funding sources will predicate if you have a decent name attached, they'll help fund you. Mm-hmm. So it's important. You're selling a product, and they're part of the product. So it's just a chain of events down the line. If you get a big star right out of the box, you're going to get funding because they know the box office will be there. Correct. I mean, for the most part, any A-lister. If you have him attached or her attached, it's a lot easier to get funding. Who are the hottest people in the business right now, acting-wise? I mean, it's really just a same crew of a lot of the same names you've heard for years and years. although I don't work with a lot of them, but like Kevin Costner's one of them. He's always in production
He's
doing
still
something. He's still very well known. Johnny Depp, Matt Damon. I mean, a lot of these guys. Brad Pitt. I mean, just to name 4 of them.
Right.
There's probably a top 100 stars that non-stop work all the time. So one of those 100, if you have them in your film, 9 times out of 10, you'll make the money back if the budget's correct.
So what is the determining factor of where you shoot the film? You say one of them will be in the South.
Right.
Now, if Mississippi wants you to come and produce the film here, so that our local actors and our local production people can work and get involved in the film, what is the competitive balance between going to another area in the South versus coming to Mississippi?
The biggest thing is crew. Louisiana has the biggest depth in crew. They probably have 8 crew deep, so you can do 8 movies at once. Mississippi really doesn't have that, neither does Alabama. Georgia has it, is starting to have it. So that's the biggest problem, trained crew that have done a lot of films. And unfortunately, there's not that many in the industry to be trained. So again, if I would say anything about Mississippi, I love the state. I've been here. My daughter went to college here. My son lives here. Really need to do some type of training program. So
I think that they're working on those kinds of programs right now.
I believe I've mentioned, DeWard and I talked, and he had mentioned it last year. They were working on it. I haven't really kept up.
Right.
They may be doing it for all I know.
How did Louisiana get such a head start where they've got an 8 crew deep lineup of
Well,
people?
we passed legislation back in '02, and it failed in 2000. So we had a big jump start on the whole country. And at
one
that
of the first,
time,
I guess, maybe the
we
first.
were the first.
The first giving incentives. And what is that incentive that the state gives to the filmmaker?
It's different. Where Mississippi gives a rebate, Louisiana gets you a tax credit. A rebate means they're going to write you a check at the end on amount that you spent in the state, a percentage of what you spent.
So what is that percentage?
Mississippi is 25%, I believe.
So let's say a producer spends $1 million. He could, if he spends $1 million in Mississippi, he could expect to get $250,000 rebated back to him.
In theory, but we always use the 80% rule. So I'm going to have things that are not qualified for tax credits.
Right.
So we use 80% rules.
So yeah, so less than 250, but it's still a hunk of money.
It's a nice chunk of money. It's generally needed as one of the components to complete a film.
Right. Do you factor that into the budget when you're going out and looking for money?
Absolutely.
So you're factoring in already that here's the budget, but we're going to get this much money back to help pay back the original investor.
Correct.
So, yeah, interesting.
It's just mathematics. It's just where you get the money from an investor, or there's a lot of people out there that'll fund second half money, so you put tax credits together and then you put some small investors together. You can get there, or there's just a wealth of ways to do it.
Well, John, good luck with the next productions, and we hope that we'll be seeing you filming here in Mississippi.
Sounds good.
Okay,
Sure appreciate
thank you.
it.
John Anderson from Entertainment in New Orleans, and we'll be back after this.
We'll be right back with more of Nightique after these messages.
When you are looking to further your education, there's only one university that towers above the rest, Jackson State University. Jackson State University is one of the leading universities in research, technology, and innovation, graduating more than 1,300 students annually and a consistent growth in revenue. Jackson State University is ranked #1 amongst the HBCUs in research and development. Make the right choice, the one choice, one Jackson State University, changing lives one student at a time.
Ingalls Shipbuilding has pioneered the development and production of technologically advanced, highly capable warships for the U.S. Navy, Coast Guard, and Marine Corps for more than 75 years. Ingalls is Mississippi's largest manufacturing employer, and today Ingalls has an immediate need for more than 200 electricians at our Pascagoula, Mississippi site. Apply today at www.buildyourcareer.com or call 888-935-1507.
And now back to more Nightique.
Valentina Orlana, Maury Mulowski, Celine Jenkins, Shalon Quimby, Wilson Ellis, Loretta Lannis, Penny Adamek,
Billy Blankenship and Collinsville, stop pulling the cat's tail.
Carson Hageman, Brianne LePerry, Marianne Hussey, Francesca Knapp.
Cat, you're a little tall for an elf, aren't you?
It was my first Christmas with Santa.
You know Will Ferrell?
I really look up to him.
Okay.
Leon Peters, Lionel Wilford, Keisha Caspers, Edward St. Pay.
C-.
Well, Santa, that looks like that's it.
But we gotta do it 2 times.
But why?
The song says so, Cat.
Okay, but you have your elf food meeting in 15 minutes.
Elfu, the elves, leprechauns, and fairies union. Collective bargaining. We gotta go. Ho, 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 ho.
We'll be right back with more of Nightique after these messages.
Credit card debt is a very real problem that faces most American households. USA Debt Consultants offers services to relieve you of your debt problems. Our partners work with creditors to help you lower your monthly payments, stop harassing phone calls, and avoid bankruptcy. Give us a call today to learn how to take control of your debt and financial future. Get your life back. Let us help.
Call USA Debt Consultants at 800-769-6406 for a free no-obligation consultation.
Bengal presents From One Legend to Another.
Good day. I must say I've deduced that Bengal roach spray is a superior product. It's kept all traces of those vile creatures from my home, which lets me focus on more meaningful pursuits.
People trust Bengal Roach Spray's legendary performance. No odor, no mess, no roaches. Bengal Roach Spray really works.
With Bengal, I love having a little more me time.
And now back to more Nightique.
So, gospel music and Christmas, they seem to go together, don't they?
Yes.
It's a holy time.
Yeah. Christmas means Christ, you know, and you talk about the birth of Christ, and that's what this is actually all supposed to be about, is Christ being born to save the world.
Now, the Christmas song you're going to sing tonight, tell us about that song.
It's a song I wrote called This Time of the Year. It talks about the things that go on this time of the year, the things that we generally get hung up on, the lights, the mistletoe, the decorations and things. Then at the end of the song, of course, you'll hear me say, don't forget to tell the boys and girls why he really came into this world.
And so this is a song that you wrote?
Yes.
And so is this a brand new song, or have you?
Brand new, right off the press. In fact, I brought you a CD. I'll get you one.
So now, all right, this CD. Tell us about the CD and where it's available and all that.
Radio announcers for years always contact me and say we don't ever have enough Christmas music, and definitely not traditional Christmas music. And so I've been on my artist for about 5 years. Let's everybody do a Christmas song, and every year we go by, no Christmas song, nobody, you know.
And you're asking for original Christmas songs or renditions of old songs?
Actually, I asked for one original and one traditional, and then we could have probably had a project of about 12, 15, 18 songs, or maybe even 2 Christmas projects, but I didn't get the cooperation that I needed. So at the last minute, I'm like, come on, y'all, give me this. And I came up with 9 different artists on a compilation CD. And so we have it's available on iTunes and also at Malaco.com. And so it's called A Malaco Christmas.
Yeah. And this is a new record?
Brand spanking new.
And these are new songs?
All original, brand new.
Oh, wow, yeah. That's great. Well, okay. We're going to go to a short break, and we're going to come back, and we'll have everything set up for you to perform.
I'm ready.
Okay, Darrell Luster. We'll be right back after this.
We'll be right back with more of Nightique after these messages.
When you are looking to further your education, there's only one university that towers above the rest, Jackson State University. Jackson State University is one of the leading universities in research, technology, and innovation, graduating more than 1,300 students annually and a consistent growth in revenue. Jackson State University is ranked #1 amongst the HBCUs in research and development. Make the right choice, the one choice, one Jackson State University, changing lives one student at a time.
Credit card debt is a very real problem that faces most American households. USA Debt Consultants offers services to relieve you of your debt problems. Our partners work with creditors to help you lower your monthly payments, stop harassing phone calls, and avoid bankruptcy. Give us a call today to learn how to take control of your debt and financial future. Get your life back. Let us help.
Call USA Debt Consultants at 800-769-6406 for a free no-obligation consultation.
And now back to more Nightique.
Christmas lights in every square this time of the year. Shopping sprees are everywhere this time of the year. Everybody's buying toys to give to every girl and boy. It all happens this time of the year. Halls are decked with boughs of holly this time. Yeah, it's the season to be jolly this time of the year. People traveling to and fro, hanging lights and mistletoe. It all happens this time of the year. And oh, this time there's a smile on every face. Stockings hung neatly over the fireplace. Every heart seems to be filled with cheer. And it all happens this time of the year. And oh yeah, there's lots of talk of Santa Claus this time. Yeah, children all standing on this time of the year. Make sure you tell the boys and girls just why he came into this world many years ago, this time of the year. And oh, this time there's a smile on everyone's face. Stockings hung neatly over the fireplace. Every heart seems to be somewhat filled with cheer. And it all happened when? This time of the year. And oh, this time there's a smile on everyone's face. Stockings hung neatly over the fireplace. Every heart seems to be filled with cheer. And it all happens this time of the year. And oh, families will be traveling far and near, and it all happened this time of the year. And oh, children will be listening for Santa and his reindeer, and it all happened this time of the year. Yeah.
We'll be right back with more of Nightique after these messages.
This is our Gray's Box. It's a great way to snack. Fresh, tasty, and created using only the best ingredients. Choose from our range of over 90 delicious snacks. We'd like to invite you to try a hand-picked box for free. Go to grays.com and we'll send a free box directly to your office or home. It may even help you keep your hand out of the cookie jar.
Go to grays.com and enter the code GRAYS34 for a free box.
Grays.com. Snacking reinvented.
Ingalls Shipbuilding has pioneered the development and production of technologically advanced, highly capable warships for the U.S. Navy, Coast Guard, and Marine Corps for more than 75 years. Ingalls is Mississippi's largest manufacturing employer, and today Ingalls has an immediate need for more than 200 electricians at our Pascagoula, Mississippi site. Apply today at www.buildyourcareer.com or call 888-935-1507.
And now back to more Nightique.
At Carter Jewelers, all permanently marked down jewelry is now 50 to 70% off. We purchase Cartier-type quality diamond jewelry from a company changing their brand name. We're selling this jewelry at closeout prices.
I have built a lot of diamond jewelry with better quality and prices than 90% national brand, with 1 carat start at $1,000.
Neptune cultured pearls now 60% off. Whole case of diamond jewelry under $200 with a regional selection of jewelry including Pandora.
Well, that was a beautiful song.
Thank you.
And it's true. I mean, everything you were saying that we're talking about is very true, and we have to remember the meaning of Christmas, right?
That's correct. That's correct. In fact, I brought you that Christmas CD. It's Merry Christmas from the Malaco Music Group.
From Malaco. Malaco's got such great artists through the years. I mean, you could put a compilation together, it would be a knockout, right? And this is available right now?
That's available right now on iTunes and also www.malaco.com.
Malaco.com. We've been talking about the future of music and how it's changed so much, and you've given us some advice, for young folks out there. Is it a good time for a person to be thinking about going into the music business with all the changes that are occurring out there? Is it a good time for a young person to be thinking about making a life as an artist?
The artists, I think, will always do well because people will always love music, regardless of whether it's gospel, blues, whatever it is. They will love it, and you will be able to do okay doing concerts. If you're talking about starting a record company, I would probably say no, don't do that. And then really study the changes that it's making, distribution, things like that. You really got to think about it. You got a lot of conglomerate and stations that they own 40 stations, and they tell all their stations that we're going to play this music and this is the way it is, and so then you get locked out some. But if you're singing, if you're traveling, you can do well.
And I guess if you're passionate about it, you don't really have much of a choice anyway, as far as being an artist.
Well,
you're going to want to do it from the heart anyway.
I'm not going to throw up my hands and give up. I've come too far now, so I'm going to keep doing it. So we just got to find the best ways to do what we're doing.
What about your career as a gospel artist? Where are you heading in the years to come? What do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish?
Well, I want to reach more people, and that goes along with what we're doing now. Reaching people overseas because of the internet, because of television, and the more that we can do, meet, and I believe in everywhere you go, meeting somebody else. If I come to a concert for you, there's somebody else that was there that never saw me before, and they'll say, well, Darrell, can you come to Birmingham? Sure. you know, and that's how it goes for me, networking.
Well, right now, Nightique, this program is on in Jackson on JSU TV, which is Comcast 14, and we're on at 6:30 and at 10 p.m. Monday through Friday nights.
That's
But we
great.
joined up recently with the CW in Hattiesburg and also the Cozy TV in Meridian, and we're hoping to have it around the rest of the state too. But you know, the interesting thing, Darrell, we are archiving all the shows on the internet on the Nightique.com, and we didn't realize it, but we looked the other day to see who's been watching the shows, because we're trying to archive all the shows. We are getting hits from all over the world.
That's great.
From many places in Europe, along with Hong Kong and just many countries, maybe 10 different countries we're getting hits from. So it's really remarkable. I attribute that to the fact that we've tried to have the indigenous music of Mississippi on the site, you know, and on this show, blues generally. Now, you're the first gospel artist on, and I have a feeling that once we start getting that word out, that we're going to have a lot more hits with the gospel too, because you have a worldwide fan base.
Well, Malaco Records is gospel music, and I'm going to promote it all on my Facebook page and Twitter and Instagram and everything else. But Malaco is quartet capital of the world. We've got all the quartets in the world. We've got all the choirs, and so I'm thinking now we probably need to bring some of the Mississippi Mass over here, you know, and they're from Mississippi, and that's, you know, from the state, and so we're going to work together and support one another, and we'll get there all together.
Yeah, you know, it's our greatest export music, you know.
Yeah.
From this part of the world. A lot of times people right here in Jackson don't even know the artist.
Crosses barriers. I've been to Austria, Belgium, France, Italy, Spain, Germany, Switzerland, Monte Carlo, all over Europe, all over the world, doing this music.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, as we start networking, people will be able to see this, your show. Your show is going to help me. My show hopefully is going to help you.
Yeah.
You know.
And through the miracle of the internet, anybody can see it at any time. Just push a button, right?
Exactly.
It's true. Well, Darrell, thank you for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you
It's
for
been
having
a
me.
great
Love to come
pleasure
back.
to meet you and have you here with us.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's Darrell Luster from Malaco Records. Thank you for being with us on this edition of Nightique. See you next time.
Join us every weeknight statewide for Nightique with Edward St. Pé. If you have suggestions for guests or want to be on the show yourself, drop us a line at www.nightique.com. I'm your announcer, Jim Pollard. Good night from all of us at Nightique.